Hey, what's up guys? John here. Elon Musk warned Tucker Carlson that we're stepping into a 1929 style depression. 1929. Now, many people might think that, hey, he might be right. Other people might think that's fear-mongering. It's not actually going to happen. But the more we pull back the curtain and we really look at what Elon's saying, and we look at what's really happening in the banking sector, what's really happening in the U.S. economy, what's happened to the everyday American consumer, we get a really clear picture. And unfortunately, it looks like he could potentially be right. And in this video, I'm going to show you what he's seeing, what he's looking at behind the scenes, so we can all pay very, very close attention and make smart and well-informed decisions to prepare for what I believe is going to be massive uncertainty ahead. Please hit that like button. When you hit the like button, YouTube's going to share this content to educate more people about what's really going on. Every time you hit the like button, YouTube will share it with one person, so please do hit that like button. Today's video is sponsored by my company, GreatCreditFast.com. That's GreatCreditFast.com. If you want to fix your credit to position yourself for the greatest wealth transfer of all time, you're going to need good credit. We'd love to help you at GreatCreditFast.com. Take a look at this. So, Elon, observer, the Great Depression is coming, Elon tells Tucker Carlson. Well, what actually happened in the Great Depression? In 1929, 9,000 banks failed. 9,000, taking $7 billion in depositor assets. Now, $7 billion, 100 years ago, 100 plus years ago, is a massive, massive figure, right? You look at what's happening now, that's reminiscent of the Great Depression. You had overvalued shares, growing bank loans, sounds familiar, agricultural overproduction, panic selling, stock purchased on margin, also sounds very familiar, higher interest rates, and negative media industry, right? That's what they said was the major pivotal point that pushed everything into the Great Depression in 1929. Now let's look at what's happening right now. This just came out a couple days ago. The American banking landscape is on the cusp of a seismic shift, CNBC, 5 days ago. Expect more pain to come. Stanford University put this out. $2.2 trillion in losses, unrealized losses, as nervous customers spark more bank runs. Well, let's look at where the everyday American consumer really stands. They have less money today than they've ever had. Right? They have less money today than they've ever had and a higher cost of living than they've ever had. So they have record high cost of living, record low cash in the bank, and record high debt. That's only getting more expensive as Jerome Powell continues to jack up interest rates. So what's ultimately going to happen? It's obvious. We're going to see more and more defaults, and banks know that. Banks see the writing on the wall that they're stepping into problems. JP Morgan puts more money aside for defaults amid cost of living crisis. The nation's biggest banks are gearing up for more consumer struggles ahead. JP Morgan Chase, Wells Fargo extends depositors to extend second quarter declines. And banks are tightening up their lending standards after rate hikes. It's obvious. They want these banks to tighten up their lending. Even Yellen says it, that they need to tighten up lending standards to negate need for more Fed hikes. But what's actually going to happen here when they hike rates and they kind of pull back on lending? Obviously, it's going to be a game changer for the everyday American and everyday small business owner. It says Fed plans to boost U.S. bank reserve requirements. They want to. Now, many people don't know this. Last couple of years, they've reduced and eliminated bank reserves. So banks were able to lend tons of money. Also, many people don't know that 40% of all USD in circulation was printed last 3 years. Since 1776, they put 40% more money in circulation. It's unbelievable, really. It's shocking. With record low interest rates, with basically everyone was making money, stocks, crypto. It didn't matter what you were investing in, you were making money. And now this is all going to change as they put these reserve requirements in. What are banks going to do? Well, they're going to lend less money. It says the banking industry called the effort misguided or can hinder lending. Right? They're going to force these banks to have more money, so they're not going to lend as much. And so you look at where the everyday American consumer is. The average income right now is $34,000 a year, almost $35,000, right? And you look at where the American consumer is. Food, conservatively, $250 a week, right? I think that's pretty conservative. You eat 2 or 3 meals a day, $250 a week. That's $1,000 a month. Car payment, average car payment in America, $716 a month. Car insurance, $150 a month, pretty conservative. Gas, $50 a week, maybe you fill the tank once a week, right? That's $200 a month. Cell phone bill, $100 a month. Maybe you got the cheapest plan, and that's $100 a month, right? Housing, $1,702 a month is the median rental for a 1-bedroom in America. Utilities, call it $150 a month. That's including internet. Student loans, The actual student loan number is about $500 a month, but some people don't have student loans, so we'll go conservative, $300 a month. Credit cards. Some people don't have credit cards. A lot of people do. $300 a month is extremely conservative. The total, $4,618 a month. That's just money going out. That's $55,000 a year. $55,000 a year just going in outflows. Like, that's absolutely shocking with the average income of $34,987, right? Now, maybe some people have two earners in a house, right? That's very, very likely. And so many people might say, okay, well, maybe they are making double that. Maybe they're making $70,000. Whatever the number may be. Maybe they're making $75,000. Even if you were to increase some of these numbers by 2x, like cell phone bill and food and car payment and car insurance, they're still running into the red, right? They're still running into the red. And banks are looking at these numbers and they're saying, it's a big problem. Because what did people do the last couple of years when they got stimulus money and PPP loans and they got all these, all this money? Well, they took out more loans. They bought a really, really nice car. They started a business. They invested. They did all these things, right? And now what's ultimately happening? It's not like they put this money aside and they're just sitting on it. No, it was spent. It was used in many cases to take on more debt. And so look at what's happening here. Regional banking sector to absorb massive losses. For people under 30, car loan delinquencies hit a 15-year high. 15-year high. Loan delinquencies could be an early sign of economic trouble. Many Americans who saw their credit scores go up during the pandemic are delinquent on their loans and lines of credit they took out, spelling possible trouble for the economy. Well, billionaire Howard Marks, he is sounding the alarm in commercial real estate, warning a wave of mortgage defaults coming. Ken Griffin, the most successful hedge fund manager in the world, he made $4 billion last year. He said, and I mean, it's to a T. This is what he said. Consumers still have an estimate $1 trillion in excess savings left over, but they're spending upwards of $100 billion every month. Griffin said that leaves them on track to exhaust their pandemic hoard in the matter of months. Now, he put this out March 8th. So, in the next couple months, the next 3 to 6 months, consumers are going to be in really, really bad shape. And so what is Jerome Powell doing? Well, he wants to cool inflation, 2 more hikes. And he wants to increase unemployment. So you look at this. When people say, oh, the real estate market's going to boom or stocks are going to boom, I just wonder, where does the money come from? It's not going to come from the U.S. consumer. That's for sure. The U.S. consumer is in really, really big trouble. Home insurance increasing nationwide. Utility bills increasing. In a single year, the average, this is in Florida, the average utility bill is rising $500, $492. Car insurance up 17.1%. Food prices climbing 11.4%. Yet real wages are falling, and there's 5.3 trillion in cash on the sidelines for investors that are getting more bearish on stocks, right? Because they see the writing on the wall. And what are banks doing? Look at Bank of America. Consumer credit worthiness remains strong. This came out last year. They already saw this all coming. And what did they do? They said, according to Bank of America chart, shows the average FICO score on consumer credit cards for quarter 3 is 770. Last year, 770. The average FICO score on auto loans, 789. The average FICO score on new mortgages, 768. Average FICO score on home equity lines, 792. This is average back then. They were already seeing the writing on the wall. And that's what I think is going to happen. And that's where I see this going. I think that banks are going to really start to take a lot of losses on a lot of these loans, auto loans, credit cards, home loans, commercial real estate loans. All these loans are going to start taking massive losses, massive. And so what are they going to do, right? In the future, they're going to continue to lend money, of course, but it's going to be greatly reduced. Lending standards are going to be contracted greatly. And the only people that are going to get loans are going to be people with cash and good credit and strong qualifications to actually be able to pay back this money. That's what's going to happen. They're going to greatly tighten up lending standards. I've been warning and letting people know that we're in the greatest wealth transfer of all time, because we are. America's wealth was comprised mainly in the middle class. And the middle class is in very, very, very big trouble. And what we're going to start to see is a lot of that wealth from the middle class get pushed forward to a new group. And that new group, some of which might still be in the middle class, is going to get lifted into the 1%. But what we're going to start to see here is a lot of wealth get transferred, a lot of wealth. That's why I think fixing your credit and positioning your credit now is extremely, extremely important. because the next 3 to 5 years, it's going to be crazy. We're going to witness something very, very, very big. What do you think about this entire situation? Where do you see this all going? Do you think Elon's right? 1929 style type of depression ahead? Or do you think that this is going to be some type of soft landing, like they've said? Like, they've said the same thing. I talked about this yesterday. They said the same thing in 2007. In 2000, they said the same exact thing. In 1980s, they said the same exact thing. In the 1970s, 1960s, at every single recession, they always said a soft landing was coming. That never did, right? I think Elon is probably right on the money here. A lot of people might disagree with that statement, but I just don't see how he is wrong. I don't see how we simply just negate this entire storm ahead. But drop it below. What do you think? Hit the like button. Also add me on IG. And if you want to fix your credit, you want to position yourself for the greatest wealth transfer of all time, go to greatcreditfast.com. Schedule a free strategy session. We can see how we can help you. And catch you guys in the next video.